Question 6. A container is created from a cylinder and a hemisphere. The height of the container is 20 centimeters. The diameter of the cylinder is 4 centimeters. So they've told us that this container here is created from a cylinder. So this bottom bit here is a cylinder, and then a hemisphere, which is half of a sphere. The top, the dome bit, is half of a sphere. So it's two shapes added together to make your container: a cylinder and a hemisphere. The height of the container, so from the bottom of the container right to the top of the container, right to the top tip, is 20 centimeters. And the diameter of the cylinder, so from one side of the circle to the other, is 4 centimeters. The question is, calculate the volume of the container. The first problem we have to address is, if the total height of the cylinder of the container is 20 centimeters, what is the height of the cylinder? We have to break it up in two shapes, into a cylinder and a sphere. So what is the height of the cylinder and what is the height of the sphere? Well, the clue comes from the fact that the diameter is 4. If the diameter is 4, then the diameter up here is also 4. So the diameter here is also 4. So if the diameter is 4, then the radius, which is the midpoint, must be 2. So the radius must be 2. So if the radius is 2, then the radius from the center of the sphere to the top of the sphere must also be 2. So therefore the height of the sphere, or the hemisphere, sorry, the height of the hemisphere is 2. And the height, so height of the hemisphere is 2 centimeters. And the height of the cylinder will be 20 take away 2, which is 18 centimeters. So one more time. This is the hemisphere. So on the hemisphere, from the center to any of its edges will be the same as its radius. So from the center to its circumference will always be the same distance, which in this case will be 2 centimeters, because the diameter was 4. We know the diameter is 4 because in the question they said the diameter of the cylinder is 4. And this hemisphere has the same diameter. So since the diameter is 4, the radius is 2. So from the flat top of the cylinder to the tip of the hemisphere, or the dome bit, is 2 centimeters. So since that's 2, and the total height was 20, 20 take away 2 is 18 centimeters. So for the volume of the cylinder, all we need to do is work out the area of the circle, which is pi r square, and then we times it by the height of the cylinder, which we've just worked out is 18. So when you plug this into the formula, you get pi times, instead of r square, remember the r is 2, so 2 square times 18. If the diameter is 4, then the radius must be 2. So pi times 2 square times 18. So this gives us the volume of the cylinder, which if you put it into your calculator, you get the answer is 226.1946 centimeter cube. Now we've left so many numbers after the decimal, or digits after decimal, because we do not really want to round too much at this stage. Otherwise our final answer will not be accurate. Ideally you just leave it in your calculator and you could add it later. But if you can't, if you don't know how to do that just yet, leave as many decimal places as you can in your answer at this stage. Now the hemisphere. Now remember, the volume of a sphere is 4, maybe if I use a different color, is the formula for the volume of a sphere is 4 over 3 times pi times r cube. That's for the complete sphere. And because we're going to half it, because it's only a hemisphere, half of a sphere, we have to times it by a half, which is the same as dividing by 2. So that's the formula for the volume for a hemisphere. Now we know that the R is 2. So when you fill this in, you get this line here. Half times, open the bracket, 4/3 times pi, 2 cube, close the bracket. Remember, inside the bracket is volume of a whole sphere. But because we're not working at the volume of a whole sphere, we're only looking at the volume of a hemisphere, we're timesing it by half. Now, when you put all of this into your calculator, what's inside the bracket, you get 33.510. So that's the volume of the whole sphere. But because we only want a hemisphere, we're going to times it by half, so you get 16.755. So that there is the volume of the dome bit at the top, and this is the volume of the cylinder. So when you add these two together, we will get our final answer of 242.95 centimeter cube. That is the final answer. So first we broke it up into two shapes. We worked out the volume of this shape, and then we worked out the volume of the dome bit at the top to get our answer.